Dr. Francis Widdowson's visit to Winnipeg on September 25th and 26th should have been an opportunity for debate. Instead, the city's universities endorsed a statement that undermines academic freedom. Widdowson, a political scientist known for questioning official narratives about residential schools, came to meet students who wanted to ask about claims of unmarked graves. Those claims became national headlines in 2021 after ground-penetrating radar surveys at former school sites, but they remain unproven because no physical evidence of burials has been found. For many Canadians, the claims of unmarked graves were a shocking revelation, given how widely the story was reported as a settled fact. That context alone should have been enough to spark discussion. Instead, the University of Manitoba and the University of Winnipeg joined the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs in issuing a statement that should embarrass both schools. At institutions dedicated to study and inquiry, the instinct should be to ask more questions, not to shut them down. At first, the statement sounded reasonable. It said the universities did not condone violence or threats to anyone's safety. But that did not stop Widdowson from being roughed up by a mob at the University of Winnipeg. It would be refreshing if the universities condemned mob violence with the same urgency they condemned a professor answering questions. Their silence sends its own message about which kind of behavior is tolerated on campus. The bigger problem is the statement's claim that there is a single truth about residential schools, known to survivors, and that questioning it amounts to denial. In reality, 143 residential schools operated with federal support for more than a century. What happened varied widely from place to place and decade to decade. That is a subject for historical research, grounded in evidence and debate, not pronouncements about capital T truth issued by communications offices. Canadians deserve to know that history is still being studied, not declared untouchable. Worse still was the statement's promise to press the Government of Canada to enact legislation that makes residential school denialism a crime. The Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs is free to say what it wants, but universities lending their names to a demand that historical inquiry be criminalized is beyond misguided. It is dangerous. Criminalizing denialism would mean that even challenging details of the residential school record could be punishable by law. Canadians should think carefully before accepting laws that turn historical debate into a criminal offense. The University of Chicago's widely praised statement on academic freedom puts it well. It says, "The university's fundamental commitment is to the principle that debate or deliberation may not be suppressed because the ideas put forth are thought by some or even by most members of the university community to be offensive, unwise, immoral, or wrong-headed. It is for the individual members of the university community, not for the university as an institution, to make those judgments for themselves." That principle should also guide Canadian universities. Academic freedom is not a luxury. It is the foundation of higher education. Worst of all, these positions were not even issued in the names of presidents or academic leaders. They were issued as media relations. Imagine being a serious scholar or scientist at one of these universities and discovering that the media office had taken a political stance on your behalf. I know how I would feel, undermined as a professional and silenced as a citizen.